Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? How's life? Lord Tizona also says hi. Also, I would like to mention, we have a new roommate. That is because on episode 1, he left me a very important comment. Reminds you of a certain mod with weird powerful furnaces? Must be... I can't read that word. Seriously, I can't read that word. I'm assuming it's a joke. Well, my fellow Lord of Darkness, the joke is on you. I'm not the Lash from 4 years ago. I have grown up, so I can take a joke. And trust me, I can even laugh at a joke. Ha 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 ha. No. Anywho, last episode I did mention that we're going to get into applied energistics, and in between the episodes, I have been busy. And yeah, that's literally automation with hoppers. It's a bit garbage, I know. But at the start, it does actually work. Oh, the hoppers are still full. Oops. Anyways, while I'm making more processors, let's see how far we can get. Okay, this moment is a bit important because if I dismantle the lantern, I lose my ability to craft anything. At least with ease. So I have the 3 terminals, we have 6 drives, import bus, controller, some cables, and I do have the storage cell. And yeah, that's a serpent. So for the moment, that is our controller, that's the dense cable, that's not our crafting terminal. Oh, I made 2. Yeah, this is much better. Pattern encoding terminal. Yeah, I guess that's it. We should be fine. Let's import everything. Are we getting some garbage? Perfect. You know, for me, it's actually very hard to believe that our entire inventory, everything that we have made so far, was done in like 8 barrels. True, it's a netherite barrel, it's upgraded, but still. It's weird. Ladies and gentlemen, please ignore the charge bar up there. We will fix that in a moment. But we have 6 drives, a few terminals, and some purple carpets. I love purple. And another very important thing that I have done is that I have made myself a wireless terminal. Currently, I think it doesn't really have a garbage range, but the wireless access point is back here. Yeah, 400 blocks. Later on, we're just gonna have a quantum link. But the most important thing is that, for the first time in my life, I have made myself a wireless universal terminal. It's actually a teeny tiny bit weird because every time that I was searching for a universal terminal, it was telling me that you need a universal terminal in order to make a universal terminal. So I never bothered, but basically you just make 2 wireless terminals, you mix them together, you get a universal one. So mine is just a crafting terminal and a pattern encoding terminal. It's nice that it has a button. Anyways, now let's fix the charge bar. So the charge bar is for the environmental accumulator from Evil Craft. I was trying to make myself some weather containers. This one is, I think, thunderstruck, but the problem is that it stopped raining. But it doesn't really matter. We just give it the empty weather bottles, and it will give us a variant of the weather container anyway. This one is sunshine. Of course, then you have to wait for it to recharge. We want a few for thunder. Oh, it was rain, not thunder. It's okay. You can convert them. And now that we're talking, yeah, I just needed the rain, not the thunder. Honestly, if you're interested in, we can also automate this guy. But that depends if you're interested, because we have already done this before. Also, while we are here and the bar is gone, let's try to break this one. It will take ages. It's worse than bedrock. Come on. Thank you. Yeah, that's what it's going to drop. Environmental accumulation core, which we can use it in order to automate everything. So these weather containers are actually quite fun, because you might notice it's raining. Now it's not going to rain. It's gonna be sunshine. Secondly, we can use the one with the rain in order to make the eternal water block. It does work exactly like the sink from Cooking from Blockhead, but it does have a neat functionality. It auto-outputs, which is nice. Let's just wait for a few singularities, then I'll make matter balls. So we need to work on a few things from Applied Energistics and its add-ons, therefore I thought maybe we should focus on the intro seeds. Well, not the intro seeds, the intro crystals. So we have some Flux blocks, we have some growth accelerators, and we have the intro seed. And that is the intro cluster. It gives you the 1. Okay, that was fortune. We got 14. This block will degenerate over time, but it's fine. We just need a few crystals. And don't you worry, it's actually quite cheap. I think it died. Well, it's almost dead. Hardly intronized. I have gathered a decent amount of intro crystals and I made myself a reaction chamber. It's extremely useful for duping extra ones and we already have like 1500. Yeah, that's 1280. That should be 2 more stacks. I have also made the seed, but it's not growing that fast. I might have to redesign my mystical agriculture area, I'm not really sure. So the reason that I have made the intro crystals is very obvious because we can use it in order to make a few machines from extended AE, and then we can also use it in order to make the intro infused ingot in order to make additional goodies. So until I can figure out what I want to do with my resource generation, here's what we're going to do. Let's take some dragon breath, some dragon eggs, and some predictions. We're gonna use it in order to make a few dragon heads and also a few infused dragon breath. And I just realized I don't have end stone. That was weird. Yeah, basically what we want to do is that we want to make the end shelf from apotheosis. There are a few things that I need. So that is the one. Let's just get a bunch. We upgrade 5 of them to Draconic, maybe 6. That should give us a max Eterna of 100, right? Yeah, Eterna 100, Arcana 100. And Quanta is 25. If I want to make the Library of Alexandria, Quanta should be 45, at least. Well, that's actually not that difficult. We just put 2 health shelves. Okay, maybe more. Yeah, now it's 45, that one is 95. Oh my goodness, the puzzle. Ah yeah, we don't need you. That seems to work. Yeah, so that is the Enchanted library, and that should be the Library of Alexandria. Perfect. Let's also try to get a disenchanter. Oh no, don't use those books. I have garbage books. You can use those. Yeah, that should work fine. So you guys already know how the Library of Alexandria works. You just dump in your enchanted books, and you can extract the maximum level enchantment that you have already put in. It's a very good way of getting rid of all the enchanted books, because I also have a lot in my backpack. And in the other dimension, I also found a decent amount of armor with good enchantments as well as weapons. I might have recycled all my armor, but that is why we have the disenchanter. Also, now that we have level 100 enchantment, I have made myself the potion of flying. That is going to give us the charm of flying. And for some reason I got the quest. Okay, now we make it unbreakable. So we already have flight, but I have to carry this in my inventory. With this one, I don't really care. And when the flight from Ars Nouveau finishes, we fall down. Oh, it's not active. I was wondering why it's not working. Yeah, now we can fly. It just saves 1 spot in my inventory. That's it. Obviously, I could have used the pylons mod, but we have the infrastructure, so charm it is. Anywho, there is something that I really want to try and do. So, in order to get into add-ons of AE2, what we need are millions of Certus quartz as well as redstone, right? Currently, I'm using mystical agriculture seeds, but I don't have the infrastructure to make it go way faster. That is loud. Okay, that's enough. I just wanted enough sawdust in order to make a cardboard box. And let us go and try to find a budding Certus. The problem is that I broke those things. I don't know why, but there is one over there, I think. Let's make a waypoint. You know, so that at least I don't get lost. Was I correct? No. I'll find it, don't you worry. Ah, it's there. Okay, it's close by. You can make the compass, but my wireless has a limited range. Damaged, flawed, damaged, flawed, chipped. What? There's no way. Okay, I just remembered. There's one which is way closer. I forgot we don't burn. Damaged, flawless. You come with me. So, we have done some transportation. What I want to try is this. My tool is kind of stupid. It has Fortune 8, it adds 3 levels to existing Fortune, and another 3 levels to existing Fortune. So it's like Fortune 14, we got 16 Certus quartz. We got 7. That's a decent rate, right? 12. Ah, so what I have done is that I have made myself an advanced block breaker from Just Dire Things. Thank you, Direwolf. And it has my pick inside, and on average we're getting somewhere between 4 and 14 Certus quartz each time. That's a better yield than mystical agriculture because each 8 essence gives me 6. And to be honest with you, I can scale that one up. Yeah, over the past few seconds I just got 12 Certus quartz. This is why I got the Library of Alexandria, because then I can make the pick that I want, again. Because I'm not really sure if I can go higher than Fortune 8 on one annihilation plane. Oh, and yeah, you have to put a filter for it. It's actually whitelisted for Certus Quartz Cluster. You have to use Silk Touch. So here's the plan. I'm not really in the mood of going around the world and finding meteors in order to find the flawless versions. Let's try to craft a few one, because I think there is a method. But first off, let's use a barrel with an item collector. Nice. Also, before we get to making some flawless budding Certus, let's fix my magnets. I don't like this one. We are going to go with one of my favorite mods, Draconic Evolution. That is a total of 6 magnets. I can convert some of them into dislocation normalization field projector, you know, so that my magnet is turned off near certain areas. There is one from those magnets as well, but this is Draconic Evolution. I prefer this one. We put one under here. I shouldn't pick up anything. That is true. One more under the other patch, and one more over here. It's a bit weird, but advanced AE and extended AE work hand in hand, and they share some of the same recipes. But we put blocks of Certus quartz as well as some charged, we get the damaged budding Certus. If we mix it with more charged Certus quartz, we get the chipped, then we get the flawed, and the flawed apparently has to go inside this crystal fixer. I have never used this, so I don't really know how it works. Do we need like to hopper in the charged Certus quartz? There is a guide. You put it on top like so, and then you pump in the charged Certus quartz, and then it will attempt to fix it. There's a 5% chance. Flawed. Well, I mean, it's gonna work. Charged Certus quartz is cheap. And how garbage can 5% be? Well, depending on your luck, it could be a lot. So far, we're still at flawed. Actually, it's not that horrifying. It does eat through your charged Certus quartz, but I got 2. You see? Flawless budding Certus. And just in case you're wondering why I have so much wood on me, that is because I was looking for sawdust. Anyways, before we go and set up some sort of an automation, this has been quite successful, 825. It's even doing like 1 cluster, and that's it. But anyways, before we go to our pocket dimension and try to fix a few things, let's fix a few things in the overworld. As I have mentioned, we are making a few singularities. Let's make them quantumly entangled. So it's ender dust, singularity, and a giant boom. Wow. Massive explosion, I know. So back here at our base, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a quantum link like so. 1 quantum entangled singularity goes there. So we are going to add our quantum link and 1 quantum entangled singularity. I think now we should have access to our applied Energistics system wherever we are. That's true. And the final thing that we need to do in the overworld is that we need to hook up our drawers to our applied Energistics system. So I have made a wireless connector. We bind it. And we link it over here. Wait, what? Oh, it shows you where it is. That was interesting. But yeah, we will have a storage bus with a higher priority so that whatever we get comes into this system first. So for example, if I search nether stars, now we have 1000. I have made myself an Eclipse alloy pickaxe. It's also from Just Dire Things. It adds +4 levels to existing fortune. I didn't know you can go to +4, but we're also going to provide it with fortune 8. I think. It ate all of my levels, is the thing. That was fortune 7. Oops, I just picked up 7. So now it has fortune 8. Now we need a decent gem. It's the gem of the earth, right? And we do have plenty. There you go, the perfect gem of the earth. This is actually a better pick than mine. So will it have an impact? This is also something that I didn't really know, but apparently when you're charging the block breaker itself, the Eclipse alloy also gets charged, so we don't lose power. How much do we get? 42 to 51, that's 11. That's 10. Seems to be better than mine. I used to get 4. Although my pickaxe doesn't have any more sockets, is the thing. But there is an Ender Search germ. +2 levels to all existing enchantments. So now it's like fortune 18. So 8 plus 4 is 12. Plus 6, 18, yes. We got 16. I like this method. We will do that after I eat dinner. My fellow Dark Ones, we have phantoms. I had my dinner, I had my breakfast, I had my coffee. Not in that order. I had my coffee, I had my breakfast, I had another coffee. So there has been a teeny tiny bit of a progress. Let me try and show you. Oh, you can't pass. Okay. So I thought to myself, it's very untidy to have a mystical agriculture farm like this. Therefore, in the compact machine, I divided everything into segments. From now on, that's going to be our pattern. The first thing that you might notice is that we have 5 blocks of flawless Certus being harvested, on both sides, which is good. Every single seed belonging to Applied Energistics or its add-ons is over here. We have the Certus, because we already had them, a bit of redstone, because I had to fill in the gaps, skystone, silicon, entro, etc. And this patch is only reserved for redstone. So how are we doing on everything? That's a good question. So that is the rate that we're getting Certus quartz, which is not that bad. It's a combination of the budding Certus as well as seeds. It's not horrifying. Redstone, which is something that we need in very large quantities, is not doing that well. So we might have to go with the usual method of having witches, but we will see. Normally it's not a very good idea to tell you the plan for today's episode because then I have to finish it, but I think here's the plan. Even though we don't have any auto crafting, but what we're going to do is that we're going to make the assembler matrix from extended AE. We're also going to try and make the quantum computer. How are we going to do all of those? I'm not really sure, but we have to get started. First, we need the capability of making processors a bit faster, so we're going to need a bunch of these crystal assemblers. We need to also make the components faster, so we're going to need circuit slicers. What's the difference? Nothing. Everything that I have just mentioned is not gonna happen if we don't have a decent controller from Applied Energistics, right? It is an odd shape, I give you that, but this should be valid. That is the hope. Are you valid? Perfect. It's actually going to be one of the most weirdest setups that we are ever going to have. Let's make a bunch. But our controller is going to be here. Our main processing is not going to be here. It's going to be scattered around the world. And we're just going to hook up everything using quantum links. And I can assure you, we will have enough P2P tunnels. That's already 28 of them. So for some reason, we're still filthy rich. I'm not gonna complain, but you know, makes me happy. Yeah, I added way more P2P tunnels on every single side. We have 16 on this side, 16 on that side, 8 and 8, that's a total of 48, right? We can still fill in the top, fill in the bottom, but I think for the moment, that's good enough for us. So our controller does have power. There is a dense cable running to these quantum links. Depending on how everything progresses, we can have 6 or 12. I can fit everything within that chunk. But for the moment, we're just gonna go with 2 of them. Quantum links are basically cables, right? So when you have a cable running into a quantum link and you link it to another quantum link, it is exactly like running a cable. Why is that important? Well, that is important because we can have a P2P tunnel under a quantum link, or we can have it at the destination. That's it. I don't know. Let's take you. I did remove the old controller. We link you like so. And if we just connect it to the link, you should work. Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness, the singularity. It does work if you have the singularity inside. So do I have access? Perfect. Our Applied Energistics system is now connected to our main controller, correct? And if we want to finish the multi-blocks that I mentioned earlier, we're going to need some help. I have made myself 8 crystal assemblers. We already had 1 of them, so I crafted 7. And we're going to have a pattern provider, which is going to provide pattern to each 4 of them. We also have circuit slicers, again, 8 of them. And again, the same setup. This will make it so that if we want a pattern to be crafted, it's going to be distributed between 4 machines. So it's going to be faster, because the recipe is going to be done by 4 machines instead of 1. And yes, I give you that, it looks horrifying. We want them all to face up, somehow. Yes. Also, I do understand everything looks weird. I'm trying to go with a new design for the base. I also had to configure every single machine individually so that it will auto-export to the pattern provider. You can't use a configuration card because the orientation is different for every single machine. But since these machines are going to require a ton of energy in order to operate, here are some dense energy cells. It doesn't really matter where we put them at this very moment, this is very temporary. But now we can hold 32 million RF in our system. In the Applied Energistics system. Because these machines do actually require a ton of power, either they require it from the ME controller itself or through a flux point. We don't want to do that much cabling, so ME controller it is. Again, remember, most of the things that I'm going to place down at this very moment are going to be temporary. Even this guy, I had to move it to the center, I forgot. But we are going to require, I don't know, maybe 4 CPUs, a few crafting co-processing units, so that, you know, at least we can do some crafting. And since it's incredibly temporary, I don't know, we just put them up here. It's garbage, I know, but we're aiming for the quantum computer, and very soon these things are going to be redundant. We do have the capability of doing some auto-crafting, but we also need some molecular assemblers for the crafts that I want to do, so we're going to have 8 of them for the moment. I'm really hoping that's going to be enough in order to make the quantum computer as well as the assembly matrix. So you guys already know the drill. The first pattern is gonna be for a pattern for making the ingredients of the pattern, and the question is, can I have 64 patterns? Yes. So now that we have patterns for making patterns, let me try to fill in some patterns. I have just been testing a few things and yeah, the machine seems to work fine. The only thing that I kind of skipped is that they do accept power from a certain direction, and that's this side. So some of them were not oriented correctly. But in addition to those machines that we have, there are also a few other ones. For example, we need crushing factories. We're going to have 2 of them, with all the usual garbage upgrades, obviously. I have also made 2 netherite furnaces. We're not going to go to aldemodium. I like this color. And unfortunately, at this very moment, these machines do require power, so we're gonna use a flux point. I have also made 4 reaction chambers for the moment. Do we need more of them is the question. Yeah, maybe we do. It's a cheap thing. I'll make 4 more. Yeah, precisely. I'm assuming that's all the machines that we are going to need in order to craft the 2 multi-blocks that I did mention earlier. Also, the reaction chambers do require lava, so I have my ender tank and a drawer. And as for water, there is an infinity cell. Yes, so that's an infinite water cell. We also get the cobblestone. Why not? Yeah, for the moment, they go over there. Later on, we're going to have a dedicated area for our infinite discs. Oh, and yeah, I forgot the speed upgrades, so there you go. And also the most important thing that I forgot are the matter balls. It's really not automated yet, so let's try to automate it as soon as possible. I have made myself some extra matter condensers. We can have them like so with the infinite water source. We shall set them all to matter balls, and all of them are going to receive a 256k ME storage cell. I have an extra one, don't you worry. So here's the question, if I have more water sources, is it gonna be faster? Yeah, it's faster. If I have not done anything wrong, we should be good to go. So let us get 2 stacks of the assembler matrix frame. I'm really bad at counting. Let's get 100. I don't know how many of them we need, but we're going to go with the max size. The max size is obviously a 7x7x7, and no matter how small or big we go, the maximum number of assembler matrix speed cores is going to be 5. So let's order 5. We can craft that one too. That is good. Since it's going to be a 7x7x7, the internal space is going to be 125. That is 5 of them. We want more pattern cores, so 80 pattern cores? Oops. Oops. Oh, not a big oops. Yeah, I don't think that was a massive oops. That should be all the patterns. Let's go with 75. We might need the speed later on, I'm not really sure. Then that leaves us with 25 crafting cores. Oops. Today is going to be a lot of oopses, because we're trying to get auto crafting without having an actual auto crafting system. So let's try this again. 25 crafting cores. I can't really complain, it's already fast enough. I do have a feeling either I'm doing something incredibly wrong or this was super easy. That should be our assembler matrix, the frame at least. But if you take a look, I have all the parts in my inventory. Well, you guys already know the drill. The frames has to be on the corner, we fill in everything with the walls. So something like this should be fine. Oh, I made extra speed cores. I already had them on me. I thought I didn't order them, so I ordered 5 more. Not a huge waste. But yeah, that is the 5 speed cores. Then we are going to have the pattern cores, like so. Aha. We're missing a bit. Well, 20 to be exact. Which is again perfectly fine. We can easily craft it. I think the quantum computer was the expensive one, because this one is like stupendously cheap and fast. Oh, you can suspend. Yeah, that was nice. Anyways, final layer of the patterns. Each one of these blocks can hold like 36 patterns, so it's already a lot. And that's our crafting cores. So 24 more walls, and we're done. I think. Yeah. You know, for a second I could not right click to see the GUI, and yeah, it does require to be connected. I just put a controller on top, just to make sure. That actually went way more smoothly than I was hoping, and I'm really happy with that. However, I have done a few changes. First off, the quantum link is now in the center, which makes me happy. We do have an extra P2P tunnel and a wireless connector. The wireless connector goes into our storage hut and links up to the assembler matrix. But I have wonderful news. This is something that I have been dreaming about since 1.7. You can hopper in the patterns. Aha, this is just great. I mean, that technically means we don't really have to come back here ever again. Because with a teeny tiny bit of entanglement, I don't have to put in the patterns inside the assembler. I just hopper them in. Yeah, this is cool. I have prepared a crazy amount of patterns for everything that we are going to need in order to make the quantum computer, as well as getting into applied flux. So that is the good news. What is the bad news? I don't think we have the resources for either one. But I did mention that we are going to try and do our best, so let's try. We are going to first focus on the quantum computer, and then we will get into applied flux. And yeah, we need more processing power, because if I want the quantum computer... Yeah, now I can craft it. Previously I couldn't, with the old CPUs. Oh, and by the way, that's our brand new problem. I think the matrix is a bit slow and I have too many patterns. We need more crafting cores. We need 25. I will remove 25 of the patterns. Because you see, this is not the speed that you want to craft a crafting table. That's garbage. Okay, that is done. We're still going to have 70 of the pattern providers, so it's not really a big deal. It should be like 2100 patterns. There shouldn't be that many items. Yeah, I'm a bit impatient. Let's cancel the quantum computer. And we upgrade the matrix. Oops. What? I might have broken something. Let me relog. Yeah, I don't really think you were meant to do that, because that literally broke everything. I think it was because of the patterns. The patterns go inside these blocks somehow, and I kind of broke them. But now we are fine, we have all the blocks, and you're probably formed. Yes. Device online, again. I had to put all the patterns in here. Also, if I'm not wrong, there is a packing tape. So we pack you, and put you on top of the hopper. Yeah, the patterns are going in. Good. I will try not to do stupid things again. Where's the jerk? My dearest friend, I'm the only jerk. Remember that. Anyways, I'm assuming all the patterns have gone in. Let's try to make the quantum computer one more time and see if it's any faster. To me, it does seem a bit faster. But then again, we don't have that many co-processors, that could also be a thing. A bit of a time later, and we do have our quantum computer as well. So these are 256 million quantum computer storage, and I don't think there's any way in this universe that we're going to go more than that. Here is the data entangler. We can only have the one. That's obviously the core itself. And here is the multi-threader. That we can also have the one. I have also made some speed upgrades, accelerators. And that's it, the rest of the blocks were expensive. So I think the rest of that we will just fill it in with quantum crafting units. I just ordered 110, which is almost ready. Also, the reason that we're going with a 7x7 and we're not filling it in is that symmetry is important. That's a 7x7, that should also be a 7x7. But let us at least see if I can make a valid multi-block. Oops, I don't know, 10 more? Let's make sure that there are no empty holes. I was wondering why the multi-block is not complete. I forgot about the sides. That's a glitch, right? Yeah, that was a glitch. So this is going to be our super fast CPU. And also beautiful. So ladies and gentlemen, we don't need our garbage CPUs. Ever again. Actually, I need that cable. So we have done most of the things that I wanted to do for today, but can we also store energy in our system? Sand. I should have sand. 20. Well, we have infinite cobblestone. We can crush it. Yeah, I told you, we're not really producing that many things, so that's the main bottleneck. We also don't need these things ever again. Okay, half a stack more sand. Come on. Thank you. So yeah, we will also have a decent energy storage. But this one is going to take ages, I suppose. Wow. Did you see how fast it's crafting redstone? That was 10,000 blocks. Well, I'm happy. My fellow lords and ladies of darkness, it has been maybe an hour later and we finally have 256 million ME Fe storage cell. It does actually hold a lot, it's 281 trillion Fe in one cell. At first I was super happy that we could have crafted this guy, but unfortunately I realized I had around 260,000 redstone in my system. Now I have 60,000. It actually dropped to like 20,000, but it's been an hour since then, so it replenished. But in order to hold all of that power, we're going to need a few drives. The storage cell goes inside, and then we're going to need a flux accessor. So we want to have a new channel. I don't know, we call it power reserve. You can be public, nobody cares, and bypass limits. The reason that we're not getting any power is that, well, we don't have a channel for power reserve. So we need to change you to power reserve. Yes. And I guess we have to right click it with anything which holds our F twice. Yeah, so we are inputting through something called power reserve and we're going to export the power using our base power channel so that our machines won't turn off. And you know, we also change the flux plug on the reactor. Bypass limit. I wish the bypass limit was just by default. We're getting 12 million RF per second? What? That's a wrong number. I think it's reading it wrong. That's not possible. I have been trying to clean up the base by a teeny tiny bit. We have our drives, everything seems to be fine, but a wandering trader spawned literally here. And yeah, you might notice he's no longer with us, but we do have a chicken. And I made a chicken feed for the wandering trader. I just wanted his spawn egg. So if you guys remember, we do have one spawner. We change it to wandering trader. And I guess wait for them to spawn. Also, a redstone control is not a bad idea. He's not really spawning. I don't know, ignore spawn conditions. Yes, it does work. So we're looking for a few specific trades, and I thought this is going to be useful. I mean, it's a free beacon. Not the trade that I was looking for, but still. This is working out fine. That's not what I need. Also not what I need. I'll be right back. That's exactly what I wanted. Growing Edelwood. Thank you. Also, if there are any good enchantments, that's not amazing. Well, the Edelwood was the most important thing that I was looking for, and yeah, I did manage to find another one who was selling me 8 more. But basically, that's the most important thing that I was looking for because I wanted to get into a bit of Forbidden and Arcanus. It's just that you can't really dupe them. Well, we might be able to find a way, but for the moment, let's focus on something more important. You might notice, I also did manage to find a wand. Well, I bought it because I thought maybe it's a difficult thing to obtain, but the most important thing is that the spell that it holds. portal. That was literally the next part of the episode anyways, because one of the things that you might notice is that if we want to access the assembler matrix, I have to go through the window. Well, I can also climb up from here, but that's not the main way of transportation. So literally our next segment was going to be about the portal spell from the Iron Spells mod, but we already got it. Anyways, most importantly, the mana that we require in order to summon a portal is around 300. So I'm using a garbage spellbook. I have also made myself 2 portal frames. One of them is going to be here. And the other one, I guess we put you over there. That's too high. There. I really need to work on my spell power because this is a bit garbage, but yeah, that's the other side. So if we walk through, yeah, this one is really cool and it's very smooth, incredibly smooth. Talking about fixing our spell power, we might as well try to fix that. We need a bit of blood. We just have to cook him a bit, just a bit. Also, the entire reason of having a captive is to keep him alive. Will you heal? Yeah. Let's try it with a baby who doesn't heal. It takes a very long time to cook a baby. You know, I forgot a teeny tiny bit. I just need some bottles of blood, so maybe you don't need the water. Ah, yeah, that's the problem. Now we have the blood. Yes, precisely. So during my explorations in the ancient city, I did manage to find some ruined books that can be upgraded to an ancient codex. Oh, we just needed 2 blood. Okay, so there you go. Ancient codex. These lightning bottles, I actually found them. I haven't automated it yet, but that can be upgraded to Aldemodium, Vibranium, and obviously Unobtainium, which I'm missing the smithing template. Don't you worry. There you go. It's a very cheaty method from the Aldemod Steam in order to increase your mana, just in case we need to cast spells. Yeah, 300 to mana, and you can add more spells to it, I suppose. It's better than the Blazing Book. Now that we have some spell power, I thought we should do something very important. Human resource management. No, but if you guys know me already, you guys probably know that I'm not really a fan of redundancies. And I thought maybe we should have a performance review every few episodes. So he's doing fine as a hostage. The recipe has not been changed. And we also received 1 bucket of blood from him. Good. Also, Essence of the Undead is a bit rare, so some of you are not going to get graves. I'm really sorry for that, but we do have different things that we can name after you. For example, we have Sir Toko, and we have Sir Robert. And I have also made your performance review, so they look cute, they craft essence, and they look purple. Check. Until the next month. Wait a minute. Papa Felix. He's gone. It's okay. We shall have one for Lord Tizona. Yeah. Sounds fine. Moving on to our next project, I think what I have to do is that I need to automate the enchanting apparatus. So I know for a fact that a lot of people use modular routers and I have never used them. Well, I have used them, but for a very weird automation. But it's neat and compact. Let's see if I understand how the modular routers work. Actually, my fellow Dark Ones, ignore the modular routers. They're garbage. Well, I'm joking, they're not garbage, but there is a far better method of doing this. In a few seconds, you're going to see how it's going to work, and yeah, you're never ever going to use modular routers for the enchanting apparatus. I was looking for this one. Yes. So in order to do what I want to do, all we need are pattern providers from Applied Energistics. You don't really need to go that crazy. I want to have 4 sets. This is why I have 4 pattern providers, otherwise 1 is good enough. So we have an Applied Energistics connection over here. Pattern providers are hooked up to our Applied Energistics. We're going to have 4 enchanting apparatus like so. And we're also going to have 4 Wixie charms. 1 I already used. So this is no longer the enchanting apparatus, it is the Wixies version. They're cute. So if you put your patterns inside the pattern provider and provide these guys with a teeny tiny bit of source, see what happens. I have already set in the pattern for the Mage Bloom seed. Let's order 10. We shall link the barrel to the enchanting apparatus and the enchanting apparatus to the pattern provider. You see? It's taking in the ingredients, it's crafting everything for us, and it's putting it back inside the pattern provider. And yeah, it's being crafted. We already have 3. Also, it doesn't use source. That's amazing. And just like that, the craft is done. Who needs modular routers, right? I just wanted to correct myself. It does require source, but only the Wixies are going to require source, not the crafting itself. So I think later on, once we want to make the Unobtainium Aldemodium alloy block, this source requirement will be gone. Although I just realized a much more fun recipe. Anyways, we didn't really have to automate this thing, but the main reason that I did that was for the wheel spring. We do have 1 charm, but in order to demonstrate everything for you, let's craft another one. That guy is making the seed. Once the seed is done, the other one is going to craft the charm. The reason that I wanted to craft this guy is actually quite simple. It's for the edelwood. So these guys are basically like the drigmies. They require variety. It's not a crazy amount of variety, but we do have bamboo. We have the water lily from the twilight forest, sea pickles, seagrass, kelp, a bit of clover from biomes of plenty, and these are the brand new flowers from Minecraft. You can't find them in the end, ironically. And 2 different mushrooms. Also, since edelwood looks weird, it's down there, but it should count. So we summon the guy on top of a flower, and it does require a barrel. It has not been a crazy amount of time later. Unfortunately, I think if you bury the tree, which I did it with edelwood, it doesn't really count. So I just spammed some over here, and yeah, we got 2. The main problem is that I forgot that these guys leave a huge mess. They plant grass everywhere. So yeah, I think very soon we're just gonna move it somewhere else. Also, I just remembered something fun. We can do this. This is cool. The question is, does it work on villagers? Yes. Amazing. He's falling majestically down. Oh my goodness. It will go on a loop. Yes, very important update. Well, since edelwood is now a renewable resource, let's use some of that. And what we want to do is that we want to try and make the Hephaestus forge. Oh, it's not Hephaestus. I thought it's the Greek god. Okay. That's a lot of stuff, but I think I got it. I know what you're thinking. Did I get it? I don't really know. So let's check it together. Okay. I think I got it. So this is the most garbage version. At least we have to go to tier 3. For what I really want to do, we need to go to tier 4, but I don't have stellarite. Well, I have 2. So let's check a few things. For the Oriole, yeah, we're going to need a lot of bottles. That was 6. I have made some potions of regeneration, and with that we should be able to make some more bottles. I just wanted to see if I can cheese it, but no, apparently not. We have to reconfigure it like 40 million times. That's 420. I'll get more regeneration. If you guys remember, we are already making the souls. I have made extra potions. Now we are trying to get the obsidian steel. You do need to have an upgrade inside, but I have like too many of them. So it's not really a rare thing. We also need some experience. We also need to have some expetrified orb, and I think the way that it works is that we need 1 edelwood. We cook it, we get something called dark matter. I'm not sure if it's going to damage the world. It's called a black hole. So let's put it, I don't know, here. Don't you worry, I'll kill you. Thank you. Okay, that's a black hole. That actually looks nice. I just throw the dark matter and the corrupted dust on the ground. I think we are also going to need some experience bottles, so that should work. No? Okay, this works. Ender IO these days. It doesn't do anything. So we drop the experience into the black hole, and we get expetrified orb. And to be honest with you, I think for the first upgrade, we didn't even need the experience. For gathering the blood, I have made some test tubes. We have to hold it in our offhand. And I'm not really sure, but will their skeletons work? Wow, okay. It's full. So let's see if we can upgrade it to tier 2. We have the souls, we have the Oriole, we should have the blood, and we don't need the experience. This is really gonna be a very temporary setup, but I have added the pedestals. Here are the arcane crystals like so. Edelwood goes in the center, and I made myself a hammer. So we right click. That's a cool animation. Wish it had sounds. Oh, I was just checking if it's working. But yeah, it did work. Now it's a tier 2. Later on we are going to try and automate this, but for the moment, that's going to be our obelisk. And slowly but surely, that's going to give us some Oriole. At a very garbage rate. What if we have like 8 obelisks? Is it going to be faster? Yeah, it is faster. Now it's 8 every time, but we need 1,000. As a quest reward, they do give you a teeny tiny bit, so we're closer. 24.5% there. And I guess I have to wait. And yeah, if we want to get the Eternal Stella, we need a tier 3. So we're very close. We're just basically waiting for Oriole and some blood. Well, they gave me a blood, so there you go. And we have the souls. The thing is, next episode, I want to get the Master Morid Miners, or at least I'm going to try and do that. So I was wondering if we can at least get the forge. We had the Oriole that we needed, so I removed the obelisks. What you jerk. If you sacrifice somebody on top of the altar, you do actually get blood. That's a nice mechanic. But that should be all the ingredients. Where's my hammer? It does take durability damage. Weird. Thank you. That also gives us a bit of reward. Oh, I have 3 of them. I have made the soul extractor that we had into an eternal version, and yeah, it's not taking any durability damage. Even though it's working, you can hear it. So that's good. Inside the machine, it does work. I can swear to you, in all the mod 6 it wasn't. You had to actually hold it in your hand. I got a soul. Anyways, with that, ladies and gentlemen, ignore everything. I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one. Bye bye.